Dunkin' Donuts, Verizon, WB Mason, and the Yawkey Foundations.
From our Fenway Park studios, WB Mason's Extra Innings.
Well, the Red Sox lead the Bronx exactly how they arrived. 4 games behind the Yankees for first place in the American League East. Bob Rogers, Jim Rice, glad to have you with us for WB Mason's Extra Innings. Jimmy, we talked about Pedro Martinez and Mike Mussina just before the break. Really 2 outstanding pitching performances. Let's look at that final play again of the ball game. Bases loaded, 1 out. Your number 9 hitter up, Curtis Pride. What do you think of this play?
He was playing too far in. The ball just took a bad bounce on him. He wasn't anticipating the ball coming up, and the ball came up.
It's really hard to see from both camera angles we have the ball. You kind of lose sight of the ball. You can't see where it is. You made a point that maybe perhaps it hit the lip of the grass. He would have had, if he had fielded that ball cleanly, would have had an easy play at the plate for the force out. But as it stands, that's the game-winning run for the Yankees. So just a disappointing way to lose again. Again, though, you battled hard in the Bronx. Tough one to lose, though. Tough to lose on an error. I don't know if they're going to give him a base hit on an error, but like the ball hit the end of the grass, gave him an error. And you had 2 pitchers, 2 outstanding pitchers today. They didn't give up anything. And like I said earlier, we wanted to go out and score runs. We wanted to score more than 1 run. We gave Pedro the lead. But Giambi came back and got a base hit when he needed, and they got things rolling. A little bit later, we're going to talk about a pitch, the 2-2 pitch that he threw to Giambi in that inning before Giambi tied it up against Pedro. But right now, we have your star of the game brought to you by Subaru of New England, and it has to be the other guy. Mike Mussina gave up 2 hits and a run in the first inning, and then nothing the rest of the way. I mean, he was awesome. He was awesome, but we got to think about our pitcher too. But the Yankees who won the game, he just kept everyone on their toes. I mean, working the ball up, down, in and away. And of course, he worked the corners pretty good today. He retired 21 in a row at one point before walking Bill Miller in the 8th inning. Star of the game brought to you by Subaru of New England, driven by what's inside. Now, Curtis Pride, a fan favorite, I think every place he goes because he has overcome so much. Of course, he was with us for a short period of time. He was the hero for the Yankees in the 9th inning as he gets the winning run in from third base. He's standing by now with Tom Caron at the stadium.
Check. Thank you. Curtis, what was the pitch?
I think it was just thinking. I was just looking for a pitch to him. Try to hit the ball hard in some place.
For first inning, that ball in the outfield ended up being a run. Looked like that might hurt. How exciting for you to be able to come back and make up for it?
I was very excited because we're trying to extend our lead, and Boston is a tough team, and we're happy to get the win today.
What happened on that play in the first inning?
Oh, well, I should have thrown the cutoff man. I was trying to throw it second, but I made a bad decision. Should have thrown the cutoff man.
After losing the first 2, for you to be part of 2 wins, feeling pretty good tonight?
Oh, it's nice to be able to help the team win.
Long road back to the big leagues, wasn't it?
I'm sorry?
A long road for you back to the big leagues. You worked hard to get back here.
I hope so, yeah.
Thank you, Curtis.
Sure, thank you.
Curtis Pride with us, the game-winning RBI. Let's go back to our NESN studios.
Curtis Pride has overcome so much. In case you don't know, Curtis is legally deaf, but he's one of those guys, I think everybody likes him that knows him.
Yes, when I first met him, he kept watching my lips. You know, he can read the lips very well. And then I think he had another hearing piece and made him hear a little bit better, so he still read the lips and hear pretty good now.
All right, let's talk about Pedro, break him down a little bit, Jimmy, because he was outstanding today. Really seemed to have a little extra juice in the fastball today. He threw 115 pitches, 1 run on 5 hits over 7 innings. But the Red Sox had to be very pleased with what they saw from him today. I think they are, and I'm quite sure Pedro is very pleased too. But the thing about it, I think that the Yankees have more respect for Pedro because they would lean out over the plate, and Pedro said, look, I got to get a corner of that plate. Give me some of the plate. And that's what he did. He had to pitch inside. In order to be successful, you got to pitch inside. He did that. And, of course, he kept the ball away. He kept changing speeds, and he was in his control at every pitch that he had. I give a lot of credit to Ed Montague behind home plate today. I thought he did a very good job calling balls and strikes. There was one call that he had in the ball game that was big. You can't say the Red Sox lost the game because of the umpiring. I thought he was very good. The play when the Yankees tied the ball game up, Giambi comes up with the big hit in the 6th inning. It was a 2-2 pitch, Jim, with runner in scoring position against Giambi, and it was a borderline pitch. Could have gone either way. Montague had a very generous strike zone most of the day. That pitch, though, doesn't give it to Pedro.
We'll watch the pitch now and come back.
Little low.
That's a borderline pitch. Now we see that's a borderline pitch. I mean, he could have went either way, and he gave it to Giambi.
And then Giambi comes right back. And this is a play, too, that I think Trot Nixon would probably want to have back. Wilson's on second base, doesn't run very well, and Nixon uncorks a 3-hopper to the plate. That was not good defense there by the Red Sox.
I don't know about defense. You have to look at the field, too. It could have been a little slow out there. The ball didn't get out there as fast as Trot probably anticipated. But then again, the ball was away, and he rolled over. So his wasn't really a shot that he hit down the right field line. It was more of a rollover, routine ground ball that got through the infield.
When that ball got through, though, and it was going to Nixon, and you know that Wilson's on second base, you're thinking there's going to be a play at the plate, and there really wasn't even a play at the plate because the throw just didn't get there.
Well, like I said earlier, you got to anticipate everything's going to be hit to you. You have to take charge that everything's going to be hit to you. You got to be a little more aggressive. And like I said, maybe Trot didn't think that ball was hard enough to charge as far as getting the guy at the plate because it wasn't that hard.
All right, let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll get post-game reaction. We'll hear from the Red Sox. We'll hear from Red Sox manager Grady Little, and we'll hear from you as well. We'll go extra today, too. So it's an Applebee's day here on WB Mason's Extra Innings. The first caller that can tell me the Applebee's slogan, which is food to go, will win a gift certificate. It's 1-866-ASK-NESN, 866-275-6376. Phone lines now open.
New England Subaru Summer Clearance Event. 0% APR financing on every 2003 Subaru, plus customer cash back. 0% on Baja, plus $2,000 cash back. 0% on Legacy and Outback, plus up to $1,250 cash back. 0% on Impreza, plus $750 cash back, including WRX. 0% on Forester, plus up to $750 cash back during Subaru Summer Clearance Event.
Don Orsillo here, and so is July on NESN. We're celebrating with everybody's favorite red, white, and blue team, the Boston Red Sox. NESN is your home for Red Sox baseball. We start July on the road with fireworks provided by the Devil Ring, Yankees, Blue Jays, and Tigers. And then the All-Star break. 3 days, no games, no fun. And then we're back with more Jays, Rays, Yankees, and Rangers. It's July on NESN, and we guarantee fireworks all month long.
Well, that about wraps it up. Any questions? You've been awfully quiet, Bob. Bob?
Thirsty for a cold drink? Try the one-of-a-kind taste of Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee.
Bob?
The secret's out. Stop by Dunkin' Donuts and try an iced coffee combo with one of our sweet, moist scones, including new cinnamon apple. Just the thing.
The world is full of individuals with their own personalities, their own quirks, their own fingerprints. They cannot be put in a box. Why should they drive one? The V6 Nissan Altima.
Today's show is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office product supplier of the Boston Red Sox.
All right, we anticipated a solid pitching matchup today, and that is exactly what we got. Pedro Martinez, the Dominican dominator on the hill, against Mike Mussina. Mussina gets into trouble in the first inning. Curtis Pride misplays this ball with 2 outs off the bat of Manny Ramirez. Todd Walker never stops running. Then Pride throws to the wrong base. Doesn't hit the cutoff man, and the Red Sox have the 1-0 lead. For a while, it looked like Pedro would make that stand up. Jimmy, he was awesome.
He was outstanding, no doubt. He had control of his pitches. I mean, he worked the ball in and out, and the guys he felt like he could blow the ball by, he did that. He got him in a situation where they was looking fastball, he throws the curveball, he throws the changeup, then he comes back with the fastball. He's changing the eye level.
No walks, 11 strikeouts for Pedro, but on the other side, Mike Mussina settles down, and he would retire 21 in a row. I mean, the Red Sox just couldn't touch him. They were lucky to get that first run in the first inning. Yankees will come back and tie the game up in the 6th. This is a big play in the ball game. It's Jason Giambi into right field with 1 out. 3-hopper from Trot Nixon, and that is a tie ball game as Wilson scores. It's 1-1. Same score, bases loaded, 1 out. Curtis Pride up, rolls 1 to second. Todd Walker can't handle it. He is charged with an error, and on the play, the winning run scores as Matsui crosses to give the Yankees a 2-1 win, and more importantly, giving the Yankees a split of the 4-game series. Again, people saying that games against the Yankees count just the same as games against the Detroit Tigers. That's not true. That's a 2-game swing in the standings. Red Sox hang on to win today. They're 2 back. Instead, they lose. They're 4 back.
You got to beat the guys in first place, and you're playing the first team, and you got to win.
All right, what about in the beginning of the game? You know, Pedro kind of has a reputation, Jimmy, of being a headhunter, right? I mean, people say that he'll pitch inside. I love the way he pitches. He pitches aggressively, especially with what happened with Roger Clemens. He comes inside early. You have to pitch inside to Alfonso Soriano, right?
Well, if you look at him, his hands are over the plate. And he and Jeter both, they were hit today, but they're turning into the ball. We're taught to turn away from the ball. And these guys are looking for pitches, they turn it into the ball, which is, I think, is wrong. It's the wrong way to teach. And the thing about it is Pedro got to establish a ball inside.
So you blame the hitters for getting hit on that play?
I blame the hitters. I have no idea how to turn.
Soriano, by the way, that was a foul ball, so that was a strike. He ended up striking out in that at-bat before leaving the game for X-rays. Jeter was hit by the pitch, stayed in the game, and then left the game as well. Both players had X-rays. Both X-rays were negative. Joe Torre, when he came out to check on Jeter, had a few words for Ed Montague at the plate. Not very happy with what Pedro was doing, but you make a very good point. You have to pitch inside, especially to Soriano.
When you have guys hanging out over the plate, the only thing I want is a part of the plate. To me, when I was playing, that's your territory. You can have that. I wanted the balls away anyway so I can extend my arms. But he had to establish an inside pitch. And like I said, both guys, they were hit, but they are turning into the ball. You got to get out of the way of the ball. We are taught that if you're going to get hit with the ball, turn and be hit in the back. And those guys are hit in the front.
I mean, both guys kind of hang over a little bit. Jeter, not so much. But Soriano, his front elbow's actually in the strike zone. You could aim for his elbow, and you'd be throwing a strike.
Yes. And I think when you have that type of player, you got to establish inside. This is not a wake-up call. I'm not throwing it at your head. I'm letting you know that I'm going to pitch inside.
That's one of the reasons, Jimmy, why I love Pedro, though, because a lot of pitchers are afraid to do that. I mean, a lot of guys, we were watching this whole series saying somebody put Soriano on his butt. I mean, because this guy's hanging out over the plate. Pedro's going to do it.
Well, different type of players now. At one time, you couldn't do that. Now everyone have the arm pads and things like that, you know, the ankle pads.
Yeah.
But no, you got to pitch inside. You got to establish inside. And to me, if a pitcher doesn't pitch inside, he's got a chance to just get knocked around all day long.
At one point, when Pedro came off the field, Willie Randolph had some words for Pedro, and Pedro kind of pointed to his head, and Jerry was thinking that Pedro was saying, I remember what happened with Roger Clemens and Kevin Millar. I don't forget those kinds of things.
Well, I think Willie was saying that, you know, he wanted Pedro to respect his players. He's hitting everyone, but Willie got to understand he played the game, too. And you can pitch inside. You had the Gossage, you had the Guidry, you had Catfish Hunter. You still had guys that pitch inside when Willie was playing, so Willie knows the game.
Right. All right, when we come back, we'll hear from Red Sox manager Grady Little, and as we go to break, we want to bring you the snapshots of the game. Brought to you by Kodak. Kodak Perfect Touch Processing, helping you to make the most of every picture.
It's the tale of a guy named Zeke who has come here from Battle Creek. As he walks with his Pepsi can, he is bumped by a stranger's hand. He fell, his Pepsi's lost, the joy of life he needs at any cost. He's found, the people cheer for the joy of Pepsi. The joy of Pepsi.
Tools, tools, tools. When you got a job to do, they're always on your mind. And that's why you trust the store that loves tools as much as you do. More people buy their tools from Sears than anywhere else in America, because only Sears has the best selection and all the top brands, including Craftsman, America's #1 tool brand. Right now, get 0% financing until January 2004 on all Craftsman hand and power tools over $99 at America's #1 tool store. Sears, good life, great price.
There's a better way to stay cool this summer. The same dependable people you rely on for all your heating needs also install, replace, and service central home air conditioning.
Kennedy! Where's Kennedy?
Here. You sold my wife a Caravan yesterday.
It is the summer sales drive.
With low financing and the warranty?
Yeah.
Can I get the same on a Hemi Ram?
Now get 0% financing for 60 months or a $2,500 cash allowance on our best products like Dodge Ram 1500. Plus, get our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Let us prove we got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
Box score for the ball game today. Not a whole lot of offense, Jim, for the Red Sox. 2 of those hits in the first inning, and really Manny's hit, probably could have been caught out there. It would have been a good play by Pride, but could have been caught. So 3 hits on the day. That's not a lot of offense.
Not a lot of offense. Even you look at New York, not a lot of offense. You had 2 outstanding pitchers, and when you have pitchers like that, you're not going to see too much offense.
We had wondered before the game if David Ortiz would be in the lineup today against Mike Mussina. I mean, nobody in the Red Sox lineup hitting Mussina very well today, but Ortiz coming in 0 for 17 lifetime against Mussina, so now 0 for 20. Kind of surprising that he got a chance to play today, but Grady's saying that since he was hot in the first 2 games of the series, despite the fact that he was cooled off yesterday, that's why he let him play.
Well, since it was Mussina, you got a short field and right field. You got a guy just come up hitting 4 home runs, and you got a chance to see him do it again, but he didn't make any kind of adjustments today.
And there you see the pitching lines. Martinez outstanding. Pedro goes 7 innings, 1 run on 5 hits, doesn't walk anybody, strikes out 11. And Byung-Hyun Kim, he takes a loss, 1 run on 2 hits in an inning and a third. What about when a hitter is just totally fooled by 1 pitcher? Looking at the numbers coming in, again, Mike Mussina is a very good pitcher, but David Ortiz is a very good hitter. How can he be 0 for 20 against Mike Mussina?
You just got to make some kind of changes. Mussina's probably saying to himself, if he's not going to make any changes, I'm not going to make any changes because I'm getting David out. So either David got to move up in the box, move closer to the plate, or he's got to hit the ball to the left side. He's got to make some kind of changes. He got to make Mussina changes. What he can do, he can give him a different view. And if you a pitcher and you watch how a guy been swinging the bat, if he continues sitting back in the batter's box and he's not doing anything, if he moves up, then you may say, well, he may want me to throw a curveball. Then you have the pitcher and the catcher out there thinking, because the pitcher and the catcher are watching you if you are going to make a change.
All right, Jimmy, you know the old cliche in baseball. They say, oh, it's a game of inches, right? It's a game of inches. I mean, sometimes
that's what I was told.
That's what you were told, right? Well, Jason Varitek came up in the 8th inning, a man aboard after Bill Miller draws the walk, and Jason Varitek is up, and he gets a pitch, and boy, for a moment, you thought the Red Sox had the lead. He thought it too. Down the line, fair or foul. We usually don't show you foul balls, but look how close this ball is. I mean, that is close.
But looking at the fans, I thought it was more to the left side the way we're looking at it. I thought it was a home run.
Well, Jason Varitek tried to sell it. He pointed in and started to run around the bases.
He didn't give the wave like Carlton Fisk, so we needed that.
Jason Varitek 0 for 3, as it turns out, with 3 strikeouts in the ball game. But a lot of Red Sox hitters had 0 for days today. Not a lot of offense.
Not a lot of offense, and you had 2 outstanding pitchers today.
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's bring in Paul in Providence. Hi, Paul.
Hey, guys. I just want to say, first off, food to go.
All right, you're going then.
Hey, I say, I hope Tech makes the All-Star game, because I'm tired of seeing Jorge and his son run out of the bullpen, the dugout for the All-Star game. And what's an error in baseball anymore? I thought the first inning that was an error for the run. And you think Epstein made a mistake by picking up Kim, especially against the Yankees? I mean, he's had bad luck against them.
Well, on the back end, Paul, no way. That's a great pickup. You weren't impressed with what Byung-Hyun Kim, how he looks out of the pen?
Actually, I don't like any unorthodox pitcher, because I just don't think they last in the league at all. I mean, he's injury prone with that windup.
All right, let's take the first comment you made, though, about the errors. Did you think that was an error in the first inning on Curtis Pride? I mean, he misjudged the ball. I know it did land on the warning track, and it was a ball that, I think it traveled better than anybody thought. Even Manny didn't seem like out of the box it was going to go that far. But I think it's a play that most outfielders make.
It was a mental mistake. He didn't get back. The ball probably traveled a little farther than he thought, but the ball did hit on the warning track. We saw the ball hit the warning track and bounce to the wall, so it was on one hopper. He probably just didn't pick the ball up. To me, the first time I go out there, when you got a home run hitter, you have a tendency of playing it back a little bit deeper, and he should have played back a little deeper, even though the ball was opposite way.
Yeah, he kind of drifted on the ball a little bit too, Jimmy. Then I think here's the big key, is that he throws to the wrong base, throws in the middle of the diamond. He had to play at the plate if he just gets the ball into his cutoff man.
I don't think he had to play at the plate. I think he more panicked than anything else. He probably just didn't pick the cutoff man off.
I mean, look where the base runner was. I mean, Walker scored all the way from first base. He may not have gotten him out at the plate, but clearly the place he's got to throw in that ball has to be to, into the cutoff man towards home plate, correct?
Well, after that hustle, when the ball went over his head, he didn't really hustle to get that ball. And if you watch the second baseman halfway out to the outfield, and then you had the first baseman was out of position too. So he just threw the ball to the second baseman where Jeter was.
Paul, so you don't like the acquisition of Byung-Hyun Kim?
Not really. I think they really need to Shea Hildebrand on a game like today. They needed him again. I just want to say also,
you forget? Hey, stay.
I lost my thought.
All right, it's okay. Stay on hold. We're going to give you the Applebee's food to go. You got it right. Right now, we're going back to the Bronx. It's Red Sox manager Grady Little.
Thank you, Grady. Hard to figure that those two starting pitchers with performances like that walk away with a no decision each.
Well, the game today went exactly as we expected. You know, that we knew there wasn't going to be a whole lot of runs scored in the game, and after that first inning, we were unable to get anything going offensively. The next big spurt of excitement we had was a foul ball that Jason Varitek hit. But all the pitching in the game was good today, and sometimes you don't always get the game to turn out the way you want it to.
Let's talk about Pedro specifically. That looked to be as locked in, as focused, as dominating as we've seen him in a while.
Well, he was from the first pitch of the game on, and we were proud for the way he pitched, but it's a shame he had to come out of there with a no decision. But Kim came in there and pitched a good game for us, too. The last couple of innings he pitched, he did everything we wanted him to do, and he got the ground balls. A couple of them didn't find a fielder, but he got a couple of big strikeouts, and he did a good job, too. It's a shame he had to come away with a loss like he did, but those things happen. We got to get on with tomorrow.
Grady, frustrating at all, 20 runs in 2 games, and then you can only get 1 across the plate in each of the last 2?
Well, a little bit, but, you know, we should have saved some of those home runs we hit those first couple of days, but there's been some awfully good pitching here the last couple of days, and it was a good series. We wish we could have come out here winning this game today, but it didn't happen, so we'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Take the split and move to Toronto. Let's go back to our NESN studios in Boston.
Tommy, thanks very much. Grady, I think, makes a very good point about the way Byung-Hyun Kim pitched. I mean, our first caller making the point that, it's a bad trade to get him. The Yankees didn't hit him hard at all. I mean, those were seeing-eye balls that got through on the ground. And then even with the bases loaded, makes a good pitch, gets the ground ball to Todd Walker.
He's a ground ball pitcher. We got the ground balls. It's sort of like a C&I dog. You know, just hit them where they ain't. That's what we say in baseball. But then you go back and look at Messino. Look at the pitching that he pitched today compared to what he learned from Petty the day before. So he almost had the same repertoire as Petty did yesterday. And when you have something to feed off, that's what you feed off of, and that's what he did today. He saw that we were swinging a lot of bad pitches for his breaking ball, and he fed us breaking balls.
Yeah, very good point. They learn from one day to the next. That's what they don't just sit in the dugout as spectators. By the way, First Look with Red Sox manager Grady Little is brought to you by Keyspan. Keyspan, it's the energy to think ahead. We'll take a quick time out here on WB Mason's Extra Innings. We'll come back. We'll have more. Pedro, yes, lots of Ks in the Bronx today. He goes 7 innings, strikes out 11. Yes, Tom Caron even helping out with the K-Man out there in the stands. 2-1 is the final.
It was the crime of the century. Babe Ruth sold to the New York Yankees.
And I meant to find out why.
From WB Mason's low-price assurance detectives.
The name's Mason, WB Mason. It was 1920. My partner and I went undercover to Fenway Park. After searching high and low for leads, witnesses, clues, I knew we had found the real scene of the crime.
Hello, boys.
We're low-price assurance detectives. Investigating the sale of Babe Ruth.
I know you.
And we know you. But what do you know about this?
My office supply bills, so?
So? That's pretty high. So high the Red Sox sold something big to pay it.
Something big? Oops.
If only the Red Sox had saved money on my office supplies. Who knows what might have been?
Who knew?
Who but WB Mason?
Hey, stop everything. Shelterman here, your local cover-it instant garage and greenhouse dealer. You name it, we can cover it. Boats, RVs, four-wheelers, watercraft, cars, snowmobiles, lawn equipment, tractors, work trucks, you name it. Sales, installation, service, the Shelterman covers it all.
Stop in today and call, because our dad is the Shelterman.
Full-time protection for your part-time toys.
Hey,
I'm a bartender, not a parent. Someone underage wants to drink? What do I care? I'm just trying to make the register ring, okay? If they're not drinking here, they're gonna go somewhere else. Who's it hurting anyhow? Can't they have some fun too?
Ignore underage drinking and you open up a way for them to drink. An average of 42 people under the age of 21 die every week in alcohol-related crashes. Say nothing, do nothing, stop nothing.
Hi, I'm John Scherer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. Well, I'm the one that makes computer learning quick and easy with these CD-ROM lessons from Video Professor. I'm so confident that my product will work for you that I'm going to send you any one of our $60 lessons absolutely free. If you're serious about learning to run the computer once and for all, try my product.
To get your free computer learning CD, you must call now. Call 1-800-680-7980.
Cena did? Is it keeping the ball away? Is it taking advantage of the Red Sox hitters being aggressive? What is it that they did differently than Yankee pitching did, Wells and, say, Clemens didn't do in the games on Friday and Saturday?
Moore kept them out there on their front foot, whereas they changed a lot of speeds, and they had the same motion that made it look like a fastball, but they threw more breaking balls. And when you got a guy in a swing mode, you have a tendency to just keep throwing the ball, and they're going to continue swinging because it's not making any adjustments.
Jim, one of the things that I noticed about Mussina today, and maybe even more so than we've seen from him in the past, is that he was changing his arm angle a little bit, too. So does that kind of just follow with what you're saying about that Pettit and Mussina both did a good job in keeping these guys off balance by changing speeds and then also changing arm angle?
The arm angle has a lot to do with it. Of course, changing speeds, that's when you can show a guy that he may anticipate you're going to throw a fastball, but you're throwing a curveball, you just take a little off, same arm angle. But you got to say to yourself, now, are these strikes? If they're not strikes, why swing at them? I got to make them get the ball up. Even though the arm speed is still the same or the same location, you just got to make them get it up. Or you got to make an adjustment as far as moving up to the box, make the ball look a little faster, a little harder.
How disappointing is it to have to settle for a split after what happened on Friday and Saturday? I mean, you're thinking, okay, we're going to sweep the Yankees. Then after losing yesterday, say, okay, Pedro's on the hill. You'll take 3 out of 4. Now you leave the Bronx exactly how you arrived.
It's not good, but you still have to live for the next day. But we lost the game on an error. And, you know, the hitters got to say to themselves, hey, we faced 2 good pitchers today, but we just didn't do the things we wanted to do. We came up short for our pitching.
In the games back column, that's exactly where the Red Sox were when this series started. They're 4 games off the pace at 50 and 37. The Blue Jays really have not been playing very well at all. They're 6.5 games back despite a come-from-behind win against Baltimore yesterday. Red Sox next trip will be up to Toronto. They'll be playing the Blue Jays tomorrow. Let's go to Rockland, Mass. and talk to Mike. Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
Good.
I was wondering if Nomar and Todd Walker should have been at double play depth in the ninth with 1 out.
Well, do you remember, I don't know if you remember this or not, but do you remember when Joe Kerrigan was the manager? The Red Sox played that 18-inning game against Texas, and he played with the bases loaded in a tie game and 1 out. He played the infield back at double play depth, got the ground ball to short. They didn't turn it. The Red Sox lost the game on that. And I don't think most managers will not play at double play depth with a winning run on third base, and you're the visiting team on the road in the ninth.
Well, I don't know too much about the strategy, but still, you have a right-handed pitcher, you have a left-handed hitter. Only thing he's got to do is elevate the ball. You got the infield in, you got the outfield in. If he gets a mediocre ball up in the air, game's over with anyway.
Right, but on that play, on the ground ball to second base, if they were at double play depth and they don't turn the double play, Pride runs pretty well. I think everybody would be up in arms to say, well, you know, why isn't the infield in? I mean, the baseball school of thought on that play is to bring him in.
True. If we make that play, nothing's said. We didn't make the play, everything's said.
One thing that's interesting to watch, Mike, on that play, on this angle, you can see Matsui at third base did not have a very good jump at all. Walker, I thought, even after he knocked it down, would still have a play, but got too far away from him, so he wasn't able to get it done. I think Walker has actually been a much better defensive second baseman than we were all led to believe, but that's obviously a very costly error.
Yeah, that's true. I'd rather see Trey Sanchez in there more every day than Walker.
Yeah, but Mike, you got to have to look at this too now. You got a left-handed hitter. The ball rolls over. You hit the ball almost in front of home plate. It's a slow ball anyway. If they're playing double play depth, couldn't get Pride anyway.
Interesting point you bring about Freddie Sanchez. I love Todd Walker. I think Todd Walker has to play every day. I think his defense is better than a lot of people give him credit